Hi, welcome to the September Crafty Carrot Collective Rewards program. This month we're featuring the Coffee Cafe stamp set, and I hope you've enjoyed the projects that you've seen in the process so far. I am sharing the technique tutorial, the technique theme this month, and the technique that I wanted to show you is a little chalkboard stamping. So I've come up with this little design, monochrome chalkboard inspired, and I made a little set of these, so I've got this one as well, and I thought that these would be really cute as maybe like a note card set, or you could layer it up and feature it on a card or any other design. But what I really wanted to try my hand at was creating coasters. We've got Christmas coming up, and it's a really nice idea to have a few smaller handmade gifts that you can give to teachers, colleagues, neighbours, friends. So I thought giving my own coasters a try with this set, being a whole coffee set, and coasters are of course a perfect tie-in with that, a try. Now I've never tried making coasters before, so I'll go through the process of showing you how to do the chalkboard technique, which is the feature of my tutorial this month. And if the coasters work out, I'll share a link to that tutorial and the photos with you as well. So fingers crossed, wish me luck. I've got basic black cardstock here, and I'm cutting this to 9.5 by 9.5. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I've got my panels, and the next step is to do a little preparation before we stamp. This is the little embossing buddy. I like to prepare my black cardstock in particular with this, and that helps stop you get all those little speckles when you're stamping. On my first design, I'm going to use my white craft ink and stamp the cup. Then I'm going to stamp the lid of the cup on top. Excuse my head while I line that up. I'm going to give that a really quick dry with my heat tool before I do heat embossing, so that the powder doesn't stick to the wet ink from that. I'll just pop that off. And I need the sentiments. I'm going with Life Happens, Coffee Helps for this one. I'm using my Versamark, positioning it in the middle there. And I'm going to apply my white embossing powder. I'm just going to use my finger to go over that line. And down here. Chalkboard style is a really forgiving technique. If things don't quite come up perfectly neat, or you smudge something, it really doesn't matter, it all adds to the effect. Alright, so I'm just going to heat set that. For this one I wanted to add the little love heart. Just that little tiny timber look love heart. I thought that would be cute sitting above the eye. So I'm going to follow that same process again of inking in Versamark. And adding a little bit of that white powder. To finish this off, I'm just going to apply a little bit of my ink, paint it on with an aqua painter. All chalkboards have that little mucky look from where previous designs have been rubbed off. So I've got that bit of smudging in there, and I'm using a white gel pen to add a few lines and dots. Gel pen doesn't like going back over where it's wet, so I'm going to just give that a quick dry again. And there we have it, our little chalkboard coffee cup. So for the other designs in the note cards, I did a little bit of repeat stamping in layers. So I've got the sentiment again, life happens, coffee helps. And I'm just haphazardly going to do a row of that. Now same again, adding a little bit of smudging, because once a chalkboard's used over and over, you tend to find you do end up with old chalk on there you can't quite get off. I'm just using my stamp here as a palette and picking up the excess ink from that. And I'm doing a smudge through the middle. Now one of my stamped impressions didn't quite catch, if you notice that there's a bit of a hole up here. I'm just going to use my white gel pen to fill that in a little bit. And that one's done, ready to go. So for the third one, I did the same thing. I've got the little coffee beans. Same thing again. To finish, I'm using my aqua painter and some of the Craft white ink. And this time I'm just going to do a little bit of edging. Oh, I missed one. And I'll just reset that and they'll be done. Alright, so I picked up these tiles from the hardware store. I think they were only about 40 to 50 cents each. And I'm going to adhere the design onto it using a spray adhesive that I also picked up from the hardware store. Now this product needed a well ventilated area, so I've come outside and I'm just using an old Stampin' Up! Delivery box to catch any of the bits and pieces flying around, and also to protect my pieces from dust and dirt in the air. So I'm popping them face down. I have to spray from about 20 to 25 centimeters up. Pull those forward a little bit, and it's just a matter of getting that positioned where you'd like it. I've just got the lid from that spray can and I'm just rolling that across, helping it all sit nice and flat. Now that those have all been adhered to the tile, I'm going to apply this matte spray sealer to hold it all in place before we put the varnish on top. So this I just picked up from the art store. I think they did have something like this at the hardware store as well. So just have a look around. This is just to seal the project so that when the varnish goes on, hopefully it doesn't warp or ruin our lovely piece of art. Again, I'm outside because you need a well ventilated area. I'm just doing one at a time, and I'm coming off, trying to stay at about a 45-degree angle, going side to side all the way across. Try not to get it on my fingers. I didn't put a glove on this time. When I put the glove on last time, it interfered with the spray nozzle. I'm going to let that sit and dry for maybe half an hour, and then I'm going to come out and do that exact process all over again to make sure it's really well sealed. So I've applied the varnish now that the seal has dried, and I will share the tutorial link to that. I haven't made a tutorial for the varnish. I followed someone else's and I can't make any improvements on what they've done, so I'll just shoot you in their direction. But they're all varnished up now and hopefully they set well, and I've got some nice coasters after all this effort. I'll be back to show you the final product in a photograph once they're all set and done. Good luck. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you have a chance to have a play and that this project inspires you.